Hi, it's Paul, and today I'm an old man with a paddleboard, and I want to talk about something that is a bit of a stretch for me. Generally, I can talk about paddleboarding stuff, DIY stuff, doesn't worry me. But today I want to talk about anxiety. Why is it difficult? Well, it's difficult for lots of people, I suppose, but for me, I'm of an age where any issues with mental health when I grew up were dealt with in one of two ways. Either cheer up, sort yourself out, whatever, or here's a mental institution, we're going to lock you away for a period of time and you won't see the light of day. There was no care in the community, that came a lot later, and all the stuff that goes with it, and all the stuff that, all the help that's available now wasn't available then. So that's the age I grew up in. So let me say a couple of things first. This is not advice. This is not meant to be a sort of help video. Maybe it'll end up helping people, but the concept. I want to talk about my anxieties, what causes me anxiety, particularly in relation to paddleboarding. And so it might end up as a series, or it might end up with no interest whatsoever and just stuck in the back catalogue and nobody ever watches it. I don't mind. It's just a nice thing to make. Like I say, it's not advice, it's not anything like that, and there will be no book, there will be no app. This isn't a money-making venture. This is just me going, I think I've got a bit of anxiety. Maybe it'd help to talk about it, and maybe that'll help other people. We'll see. You can be the judge of that, but I thought I'd give you the opportunity to bail out now and not watch another 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, of me droning on about stuff. So, anxiety then. Yeah, I get anxious about stuff. I know not everybody does. I know lots of people do. But with relation to paddleboarding, most of my anxiety relates to the worry of inconveniencing other people. So, for instance, depending on where I get on, well, wherever I get on, I've usually got my board pumped up before I get there. I paddle early in the morning. I paddle early in the morning because I like to be out here and clear my mind and all the rest of it in nature. But that brings with it the concept of it's very early, it's very quiet. Apart from geese in the background, it's very quiet. And so I don't want to disturb people. A couple of the places I go, one of the places I go, people camp overnight. Another place I go, there's narrowboats moored. And what I don't want to be doing at 6 o'clock in the morning is waking people up with my electric pump or even with my hand pump, because it's noisy. So because I have anxiety about waking people up, upsetting people, I pump my board up the night before and then I take it on the roof of the car. I can, it's convenient to me. Lucky me. What other anxieties? I have an anxiety of getting on the river in front of other people. I really don't enjoy it. If I'm on the river and I see other people, or on the water and I see other people, it doesn't faze me too much. But actually getting on, standing up, the fear of perception, that gets to me. So one of the ways I deal with that is by coming paddleboarding at 6 o'clock in the morning, because no fool comes out at 6 o'clock in the morning, or even earlier in the summer. It's nearly the end of September now, so 6:30 is the earliest I can get on because it's only just light then. So yeah, making noise. Swans, I get anxious about swans. Not so much now, this time of year they're alright. Not so much now, this time of year they're alright, but in the sort of breeding / nesting season, they become very territorial. They can become quite aggressive. I will do a completely separate video on that. But yeah, swans, anglers, not because I've ever had any bad encounter with anglers. I haven't. They've all been remarkably pleasant. Usually sort of at least nod or say good morning or whatever. Swans flying overhead, nice. I've never had any, but I don't want to upset them. It's just a fear of causing inconvenience. And I suppose that finally, maybe the two fears related to falling in. I was, you might say, fortunate. I came from a paddle sport background into paddleboarding, and when I did my first and only lesson, I didn't fall in. I'm shocked to this day. I'm not sure quite why not, but I didn't fall in. And so I was like, oh, that's really good. So I went out and bought a paddleboard and I didn't fall in. In fact, the first time I fell in, I'd probably been paddleboarding for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 times. And I was trying to be clever. I was trying to learn my turning strokes. I was trying to be clever with them. And I fell in. I fell in knee-deep water. But that was the first time I fell in. And you might think, oh, great. Oh, how lucky is he that he's got the balance. I haven't. And he doesn't fall in. The only issue with that is you become unaccustomed to falling in. And then it almost works in reverse. So you actually develop a bit of a fear of falling in. Maybe not a fear, but a nervousness, a not wanting to. So there's that, but also because I 99% of the time paddle alone, I have a fear of, if I do fall in, inconveniencing other people who will then have to, or will then feel they need to get involved and rescue me or whatever. I would like to point out for the people in high-vis jackets, toe protectors and hard hats, I'm quite capable of self-rescue. I can swim strongly. I'm more than capable of rescuing myself, but that's all very well if you are the person on the bank watching someone fall in and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and not knowing anything about it. That's my concern, because other people will be concerned about me. I'm not concerned about myself. I have the relevant safety gear and it's tested. So yeah, all of those things, and all of those things, even the weather, it's a bit of a dull morning this morning. So this very morning, I had every intention of coming out paddleboarding. Obviously I have. But I got up and I went downstairs and sat downstairs and looked at the weather and said, oh, it's a bit miserable. Oh, it's a bit chilly. Oh, it looks like it might rain. Oh, there's rain on the forecast. Yeah, that's for 6 o'clock this evening. And I almost talk myself out of it, and I have done many times before. I've sat there and go, oh, too windy, I'm not going out. And actually, what I do know, the forecast for today is 6 mile an hour winds. The actual wind is 1 mile an hour right now. And the forecast for right now on windy is 6 mile an hour. And it's a sheltered area. Most of the places I paddle are sheltered areas. And so it's very rarely as windy as it actually says on the app. There are some days I get up and the trees are like that and I'm like, oh no, I'm not going out in that. That's pointless. But as I say, all of those things come together. I deal with that one, by the way, purely by focusing on someone who talks to me on a daily basis now and goes, "Did you go paddleboarding this morning?" And I then have an anxiety about them having a pop at me, which they won't, but I kind of make this story in my head that says they're going to tell me off if I haven't been paddleboarding. So I go paddleboarding, and I've managed to go successfully about, I don't know, 10 or 12 days consecutively, which is, for me, unusual. So there you have it, a little bit of a story about some of my anxieties about paddleboarding. If any of that resonates with you, if you'd like to know more, if you've got thoughts on it, chuck a comment down below. If you don't have a YouTube channel, or if you are anxious about putting comments on my YouTube page, which can be seen by the public, head on over to oldmanwith.com and use the ask a question button, because no one will see what you've written then. So, like I say, if you've got thoughts on it, chuck them down below, even if it's pathetic. If you must, chuck it down below. And let's see if we can make something that's helpful to others, maybe helpful to me, because it'll encourage me to do more and come out more. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.